Hello, everybody, and welcome. There we go. That's going to tie into what I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. There you go. It's a great example. Great to see you all in here, folks. Thank you for coming. It is a pleasure to have you all. This is kind of a last-minute one because we had an engagement, an earlier engagement we had agreed to earlier, and a topic that I really want to cover because I think it helps every YouTuber, and it covers somebody that I possibly would say is in my top 3 that I admire on YouTube. And it is a message that everybody should hear, everybody should know about, and everybody should take some away from. And if you don't know this guy, we're going to get into why you should know him in just a few minutes. It's great to have you. Like I say, it's not planned, guys. We had no promotion out. So I'm going to ask you guys right off the top of the bat, if you can hit the like button, tweet it out, all that good stuff, tell friends, whatever you can. The more the merrier, to help us pick up some traction. The algorithm is not used to us on this time of day, and it's kind of like, what's going on here and why is this all happening? So if you guys can help us out, that would be absolutely awesome. It's a pleasure to see you all. Hope you're having a great evening. And you know what? First of all, thanks for joining us on such short notice. You guys are absolutely awesome.
Yes, thank you so much. We thought that it would be important to talk about it today while it's still happening, and also because we have thought about this for a long time. I'm sure lots of you have been dealing with the same things that we're going to be talking and covering today, that Linus have been talking about. He is representing a lot of us here, and we just wanted to discuss that with you and see what you guys are thinking about it and how you're feeling.
He gets into it. We're going to try to dance around some of the words a little bit just because we've had so much trouble with the algorithm lately. So I hope you guys understand where we're coming from. And what it is last night was very powerful what he released. I can't even begin to put into words how powerful it was, and very honest and frank. And that's something I've admired about Linus from Linus Tech Tips for a very long time. He just recently hit 10 million subscribers. He is a Canadian channel, a fellow Canadian, I'm very proud to say. And has other channels as well, like Tech Quickie, that's over 3.1 million now. Tech Link, that just crossed 1 million. And I was showing some friends today of mine where it all began, you know, and him live streaming, doing his famous WAN show, his live show that he does every week from his father-in-law's house and stuff like that. And a story that a lot of us can relate to, you know, that starts off with quite meager beginnings on here. And also has been something that's stuck in my craw for a while, is the whole part of not feeling like the platform is appreciating the ones that really got them off the ground, created the I don't want to call him a superstar. I don't think that's fair, even though he's in the 1% tile of tech channels on YouTube, because he's a solid channel, and I don't want to take anything away from what he's done. I'll talk a little bit about his personality. He has been one of the most influential people to me on YouTube, and a lot of the reason how we do the show, and I think Xenia has some parts as well. You know, we've taken a lot of, not copying his channel, but the way to conduct yourself on YouTube from Linus. You know, now that I'm thinking of it and putting it into words, he's probably been my biggest moral compass on here. I think I handle more things in the way that I don't say it physically, but mentally I almost would say I go through a point of when something goes wrong or something doesn't work right, how does Linus handle it? to be quite frank, I never really even thought of it that way now, so that's why I had to pause for a sec. I owe a lot to what this guy's done. I think a lot of channels does. I think a lot of young tech channels and everybody else has gotten into YouTube because of seeing Linus. He's done a lot for this platform, and to see him hit 10 million and the words that he spoke about that we're going to get into soon, which were quite heart-wrenching to say the least, and very honest, because I'm going to say it right up front. There's a lot of people, you see it in here, oh my God, I'm so sad, I'm leaving YouTube, this is it, I'm going. And you might as well start the stopwatch because you know they're going to be back within 48 to 72 hours. This was not like that. This was really frank. And I mean, a lot of people took it seriously because there has been even some big YouTubers, my God, lots that we all know, but there's been some big ones as well who have done that too. But they're really taking this one seriously. And he was right that with the way he put it, in that he's not saying even, you know, I'm not saying I'm leaving tomorrow, but why he thinks of retiring and stuff like that. This is a young man. He's still in his 30s, but has already lived a lifetime on here. And just to put it in perspective, I want to show you guys, I always want to bring this up. He started off in his father-in-law's basement doing the WAN show I'll get into his full story later, but just to put an example of how much this company's grown. Here's Linus Tech Tips now, and I'm hoping I'm getting it right. I think he owns most of this building now, or if not half it. That I'm not exactly sure. This is what it's grown into. And at one point they were in a house. There was him and there was 6 altogether. And of course it's illegal to run you're allowed to have like a business, a home business, but you're not allowed to have a business out of your home. Meaning you could be like a lawyer that does paperwork, has some clients there now and then, but you can't run it like a physical business. And they were reported and they were getting tossed out of the house they were renting to do their work. And they crowdfunded and came up with over $60,000 at the time. They still weren't that long into it. And was enough money for them to take one part of what you see of the warehouse there and turn into a set of 6,000 square feet. And then they proceeded to go on later on to 12,000 square feet. And just an amazing success story in every shape and form. So I think he is one of the most inspiring people on YouTube. I know it's kind of in the trend for we're up and coming YouTube, because I don't like saying small channels. It's good to hate on the big ones. The big ones get it all, we get nothing. Well, in my opinion, the big ones don't get nothing here either. It's the television channels that send over their stuff get everything. And I feel these guys that really made the platform what it is, solidified, get no special appreciation. And that's what really bothers me into it. And I brought that example many times. If you were to go into NBC or CBS or ABC, Fox, etc., you would have posters everywhere of all the TV shows that made you big and the ones that are current, and they'd make a fuss when you came in and all these things, which is pretty much non-existent on this platform. So it's a lot of thankless, tireless effort, and it's work on their own that nobody can take away from them. And a lot of us, why we're here today, is because of people like Linus and them. So I'm glad you guys are here and get to hear his story some. It's there's a lot of ups and downs into it and stuff like that. And definitely, I'm sure there's a lot of people in here that know of Linus already. I'm hoping you guys have seen the video that he put up last night and can give your thoughts as well.
That's right. And after the live stream, we're going to link to the video directly as well, so you can go over and check him out. In the meantime, we do have the link to the Linus Tech channel if you want to check it out and don't know him. Although his videos have been trending a lot, especially lately. His videos have been on a trending page a lot. And if you are completely out of knowledge of who are we talking about, Linus Tech Tips is a channel owned and started by Sebastian, Linus, and they just reached 10 million subscribers. It's a tech review channel. They do have I think 3 other channels as well. And the main thing for us, he is a fellow Canadian. I think he's one of, if not the first YouTuber from Canada that rose to the heights of the subscriber count that he had. He definitely had a success story. He started from the very bottom. He started to work as a YouTuber for another company. Basically, was their host and creator of the channel for the company that he was working at the time. And then he decided to split from the company. Since then, that company have bankrupted, in fact. But Linus, since then, he blossomed. Has had a company, production company. He does a lot of roles in video projects for a lot of tech companies like AMD, Ryzen, Sony, and so on and so on. Has around 30 people that he employs, and that all stemmed just from starting a YouTube channel. So a true success story, a self-built man that now is talking about retiring. He's 34 years old. And he's thinking of retiring after being on YouTube for around 8 years, around like that. So we're going to talk to you what he talked about in his video, in case you didn't see it, and what we think about it, because we have been thinking about creator burnout for a while now. We actually, before Christmas, even were thinking of doing a subject just dedicated to that. And there's lots to think about, I think, for all of us, and a lot of reflection, especially after watching the video.
Most definitely, guys. When you think about it, like what happened in the beginning was he was working for a Canadian computer company called NCIX. And what they were doing was they started making some videos on their channel to promote the products that they were selling. And they realized after about 4 of them that it was quite expensive to do. They didn't want to do lower budget videos and have them associated with a company. Linus was working there, and basically, from his words, they said, "Well, you seem like you like to talk a lot. Let's get you in those videos." So after the 4, they said, "How about we do this? We call it Linus Tech Tips," which is his real name. Ends up his father was a big fan of Charlie Brown, if you're wondering why the name. And said, "We'll put it under your name. That way they could go a lot lower on budget, and do it that way." So he agreed. But it was pretty, nothing too over the top. Didn't grow any great success. So in 2013, when he left, he negotiated to take the name with him from NCIX and did so and started building it up. And so all this that we're talking about that he's growing, it says here, Linus Media Group. I'm just taking from Wikipedia here. I'll share it with you. Sebastian founded Linus Media Group in January 2013 out of a garage with Luke Edsel, Brandon Lee. The group developed the Linus Tech Tips channel as an independent venture. Sebastian began working on Tech Quickie soon after Tech Quickie was released. They announced Channel Super Fun. So from all that has grown since 2013. We just went into 2020. That's a very short time to grow into something like this. It's an unbelievable success story, and it is based on everything we've been saying. It takes dedication and absolute hard work and not willing to compromise onto it, to take your product very seriously, their branding very seriously. Surrounding yourself with great people who enhance what you do, that benefit what you do, not getting caught into the messes, the dramas and stuff like that, and just full force vision, which is no different than any other business you would have. A personal business, whatever the size. That's what it takes to do it, and that's what it takes on YouTube. And he really, really nailed it with his speech about, going through it in that last night and the toll it does take and the things that are missed from it. It was very honest and very genuine and not guilting. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, and I mean, really doesn't have to guilt. He's at 10 million subscribers. He doesn't, it wasn't a pity trip. It was just an honest look at here's where I am now from all this. And this is what's going on inside of me, Stay out of drama, getting along with people is a key. That's right, Drops Family Garden. Very well said. Exactly. Very, very well said. Folks, if you could hit that like button. We never gave no notice to coming on. We had a prior engagement tonight. So literally we set this up at the last minute. We felt it was something really important to talk about. So if you guys can help us get the word out, hit the like button and tweet it out. Makes a gigantic, gigantic difference, folks. Let me say hi to some of the folks in here right now and see if I can catch some of the people. I want to say it's moving like crazy, guys. Watch Them Do Stuff is in the house. Welcome. Ulrich's channel is here. The Rights Way is with us. The Sneaky Fox is in the house. We have the Night Owl here. We have the Amazing Drop. T-Town Gamblers here. Sparkle Beauties by Idiana Zaborte. I know I'm screwing it up, sorry. Sleeping Bear is here. We got Skywatcher Sandra in the house. We have Sheba Speaks here. We have Relaxation TV in those. We got Quicksilver here. We got Queen Helen Casey. We got Prepper 101 is in the house. We have Fat Rolla in the house. We got Phantom Flight 101. Nevermore Antiques. Guys, are you getting a lot of buffering because the list is just jumping all over the place?
And thank you so much to Sneaky Fox for Super Chat. Thank you so much.
Living up to the name of Sneaky Fox. Came right into it. Thank you so very much. Natural Stay Beauty. How are you? Great to see you. MJ's Unboxing and Scratcher Fun. Melly93 Eats is here. Paul is here. Just Living. Great to see you. Jung Pick is here. JN Vlog, welcome. We have Jake Blackburn's Addiction. Oh, added addiction onto it. There you go. I would be very careful with that word way the algorithm is going. I'm scared that might get you shadow banned by putting that on more than help you. Just a side note, Jake. I don't know if that's a good idea, but it's your channel. You do what you want, but just as a side note, Bronke, how are you? Welcome. Haunted by Haunted is here. Graceful Spirit and Ray. Food Family Skits is in the house. Drop Family Garden once again. Drone Kings in Darwin. Dog Adopter for Life, welcome. Danny Black is in the house from down under. Great to see you. We got Crazy Cage in the house. We got Cooking Inamo in the house. Well, we got Colorado Fisher with us. Great to see you. Chad Stash YT is here. Welcome as well. Welcome to Bumpy Johnson TV. Brant Ariels is in the house. Gary, how are you? Big Kid Small Toys is back once again. Great to see you. Bait the Hook. And Anna's Kitchen is here. I know, guys, the list is jumping a lot. I'm missing people like crazy because of it. So make sure to say hi in the chat so we can give you a big hello's welcome. Like Forever Freaky Funko, how are you? May in Thailand is in the house. Great to see you. Yeah, good, Jake. Like I say, I really think that's playing with fire. I'm glad you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your channel, but I really recommend it. Crazy Cajun, thank you for sharing it out. It means so much. You are always on the ball when something important happens on the platform. Thank you. Pixelpia, thank you so much. And this one's really dear to my heart. I truly think the world is channel. Restore this. How are you? Great to see you. Who else are we getting here, guys? We got Lottery for Life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. It's a pleasure to have you all here, folks. And if you can just take a minute and hit the like button and tweet it out or message it out anyway or DM some friends, because we're not usually on this time, so that push will really help out so much. If I was any better, I'd be twins. Well, Gary, that's a fantastic answer. Great to hear.
Lottery for Life, good to see you here as well. Chad Stash YouTube, hello, how are you doing? And welcome here. Main Thailand here. Favor Oswire, hello. I hope I didn't butcher your name too much. Hello, say hi in the chat. And we have Straight Six Fan in the chat as well. Yes, we were on the interview earlier this night, so go and check it out if you missed that. Jake's Blackburn Addiction, check my about. I think your info helped. Well, thank you so much. We'll definitely will check it out afterwards. Crazy Cajun, well, thank you. Well, guys, if you can click that like button, share it out, as Andrew says, please do. I think it is an important issue, and, you know, there's never a right time really to talk about it because it's kind of a slippery subject, so to say, and somehow a little bit sensitive as well. A little bit emotional too when you think about it, but Linus putting this video out, and I've been putting the link in the chat if you want to watch it afterwards. I will tell you, you'll need a Kleenex, and for a grown man to be crying on a live stream, which he did, like I was super emotional watching it. It just makes you think so much about what your own YouTuber life is turning into your real life, and that's what we're kind of talking about here. We've been following Linus Tech since before we were YouTubers, because he's a Canadian creator, and used to watch a lot of his videos while eating supper and so on. Like before he moved the buildings, I think we started watching him. Yeah, so long time ago we started watching him, so this is one of those things when we have been fans even before we thought about our own YouTuber career, so to say, if you want to talk about it. So yeah, it seemed very timely to talk about it today when he put this video out.
Most definitely, guys, and it was very heartfelt. And honestly, one thing I can say about Linus Tech Tips, it is a channel to watch how to do it right. That's what I think I would sum him up as the most. It's a channel to see how to do YouTube right. And I'm not talking about now with these production teams. I'm talking about since the beginning. And it's a lot of it falls under the integrity category. That's what I like so much about him, is the integrity side of what he does and how important it is to keep your integrity on here. And how it's not worth throwing it away, to stick to your gun, to stick to what you came here to do, to believe in what you do, and find whatever ways you necessary to promote and build on what you do, and not to lose. It's very easy to lose focus on YouTube. It is so easy, because it's not like a brick and mortar store in the way as if you sold lamps and now you want to sell lawnmowers. You got to go through, canceling all shipments, clearing out inventory, getting all the right paperwork, blah, 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 blah. It's as easy as changing the name and grabbing a picture, and there you go. Now I sell lawnmowers, done, over with. But that's so detrimental, and that is such a channel killer, to be honest. We see it happen so many times as channels changing all the time and having no identity, or changing so quickly that nobody gets to build an emotional connection with what they do. I just learned the Alt key, nothing it down over the chat, pauses and allows you to do a few functions instead of having to use the 3 dots. Did you know about this? I just learned the Alt key, holding it down over the chat and pauses and allows you to do a few functions.
It pauses the chat, yes.
Oh, yeah. That's what he... Okay, sorry, I didn't quite understand the word. That's my fault. I'm sorry. It's been an extremely long day. I do apologize. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. Thank you so very much, and good to see you, Corimano. Hope you're doing fantastic. Drop's still not selling lawnmowers. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
And I've dropped the question in the chat. If you have experienced a creator burnout, let us know. If you would wish for us to share the experience, I think being able to talk with creators like each other is definitely helping. If you are experiencing that or maybe experienced that in the past, share your experience in the chat. Thank you.
So, folks, we'll just get into it for a few minutes. We'll go on. So we're going to be talking, guys, quickly about Linus Tech Tips, but more the message of it. If anybody's just joining us, there's going to be a little bit of rambling into it, guys, for a couple of reasons. One, this is one of my top 3 channels on YouTube for a long, long time, and the message is just so important. So I hope you guys are going to bear with me. I don't want it to sound like a rant. It's a message that I just hope a lot of people will take to heart. I really do. And it's something we said a lot, and it's nice to see. I don't wish it on anybody, but it's nice to see somebody this size be so candid about the whole thing, to show people that, you know, it happens at every size, and you're not the only one going through it. Now, Linus Tech Tips, as we said, guys, went on his own in 2013, started off with nothing, basically, and built up this empire, for lack of a better term, where he just hit 10 million subscribers, and has around 30 people working for him. Once again, here's the building that they have now, a big part of it they're working out of. They might even have the whole section now. I'm not quite sure onto it. I know they had 12,000 feet, but I forget the updates. And he did this video last night. I've been thinking of retiring. A young man, as we say, 34 years old, but lived a lifetime already, and built something very big, very fast, but probably was still very slow for him. They had no money ahead or nothing like that when they got going. This is not a Jake Paul. This is not a Will Smith. These are the YouTubers that I feel are crapped on a daily basis on YouTube that never get the recognition they deserve. There's so many big channels doing great things on here that built up by their own accord with no help from anybody. Their brow. That's a, I mean, they did collabs and stuff. What I mean is they're not like Jimmy Kimmel's that are just thrown in here and everybody watches and dictates most of the trending and that. A lot of times he doesn't end up in the trending, which is pretty sad. When I was just looking, that he was the 5th most, where to say that? I want to get that for a second. As of February 2019, Linus Tech Tips is ranked the 5th most watched technology channel on YouTube, and has been in the top 1% of Google's preferred advertising channels since 2014. I mean, you figure somebody like that should be gold to them. But nonetheless, I digress. Last night he did this video talking about his 10 million, and what it was about was what he has had to kind of give up to do this. And he has 3 children, young children, and he talked along all the steps, which happens to a lot of people, though, not just in YouTube, but this is something I hear quite common that start their own businesses and stuff. You know, his wife is working there with them, but I was also asked, like, you know, when are we going to step back a bit and have a normal life? You know, when are we going to do something that's not taxing every moment of our lives? And he was like, you know, oh, when this happens, when that happens, when the first child can do this, when the second, you know, there's always a jump ahead to the next moment. Because a lot of people, to be successful and stuff like that, mostly tend to be workaholics. It's true. It's a ton of work. It's just in their nature. They just push and push and push and work day and night. But he really opened up last night, and a part that was really hard was talking about how he got contacted by, he couldn't make a Wish Foundation type that was asking about a kid that was sick with leukemia, wanted to build a computer, and they the whole experience, the kid got sicker quicker through it all before it was quite done. He ended up doing it, but it was postponed a lot. He finally got to put his computer together. But, you know, as a parent, right away you start thinking of your own children and your own life. And especially when you're this busy and this focused and this geared ahead, sometimes you're doing that so much that you completely lose perspective and don't realize just how many years and how many moments in your own children you've missed by doing it. And it was quite emotional. It was quite it was a lot to watch, and we're gonna put the link in at the end, guys, and I definitely hope you guys will check it out It was absolutely fantastic. It was done in true Linus fashion, very candid. Not often you see him get emotional. I think it's the first time ever
I
for
think
that.
so, yeah.
But the candidacy he's had before. He doesn't do it all the time, and that's what I like too. It's not a drama-based thing where you do it every time to raise some views whenever you feel you've had a dip that week. But did it because it was time to talk about something, and that he's been known for. He has his series called Honest Answers to Honest Shit, like where he takes down and will come up with stuff that's been going on lately in their channel, what they've done, and addresses it. And I've always respected him heavily for that. And he's at a crossroads, and I can understand why. The burnout that he's gotten from chasing this platform, and that it has been grueling to say the least. And his experience is no different than any of yours in that part. He understands because he's been through what you're doing. Now there's just more channels. It's like when I used to drive truck in the 90s versus now. It's still driving truck. There's just a lot more traffic on the road than when I started. But it doesn't mean it was easy back when I did it either. And, it takes its toll on somebody. Especially when you're that passionate and driven about something, which a lot of you are about your channels, and rightfully so. And hats off to you if you are. You've got to care about it. But there is something to be said, from not letting it steer you in the wrong direction and realizing sometimes when it is hitting you too hard before it starts to make you somebody bad on this platform, because that happens a lot. We watch that happen all the time. Most of us in here, please never name any names. Just think in your head how many channels you've met that you thought were really good, honest people, and a lot of them are, and they got caught up in this, and now they've just kind of gone rogue. And as much as I don't want to see anybody leave the platform, the smartest ones were the ones who got off, because it was just too much for them, and your sanity's worth a lot more than that. And it really makes you think, and it's so close to what we've been talking about for so long, about how you have to keep yourself together and not let YouTube sway you and turn it into somebody you don't want to be. I've often done the joke where I wave at my great grandkids and say hi, because I always know whatever's on YouTube is here to stay at this point. YouTube will be long gone, but there'll be some platform down the road, wherever they are, or some device that they're going to see all this. It's here to stay. And I think it's very integral to know how you want to be remembered on here, what your legacy is to be. I mean, I'm sure there's some stuff that the dad jokes and that my great-grandkids are watching and be like, oh, God. But nonetheless, I don't want them to be humiliated. I don't want them to have to do measures to try and keep it away so other people don't see because it's so bad. I do take that into consideration, and I can't help it because we got kids. I know there's a legacy going on. It's important to me, and maybe that's what's kept me from doing some stupider things on here. If it has been the reason, I'm fine with that. Any reason's a good reason not to throw your self-worth down the drain. And Linus Tech Tips really Linus Sebastian is his full name. Really did a great job last night of talking, because usually it's like 10 million, all right, I'm going to crash this in my head, and all that. It was so refreshing, and it was so Linus to open up on 10 million and talk about the pain and the heartache they've been going through, as well as he was happy. Like, he wasn't looking for pity. And once you watch it, if you haven't already, you're going to get where I'm coming from, that it's not a pity-driven video. That's what makes it so amazing. It was just honest. It was just from the heart, and so well done, and enough off script. Like, you could tell there was no script with it, but he had wrote down a couple of notes, but he just kind of went with it, and you could see his heart going in, and in different levels of it as he was talking. Because that bugs me too. And when I first seen it, as much as I love him, I'm like, oh God, not him going down this road. I almost got shivers. I'm so sick of watching people say, I'm out of here. I can't take it anymore. I'm never going to do YouTube again. I'm just a bird. I'm flying. And then it's like, just get it over with. You want the views, and you're waiting for them to say, oh, please don't go. Please don't go. My world will crumble without you. And then they're back 48 to 72 hours. It's a drama-filled pity, and I have very fucking little tolerance for pity. Especially, I have tons of compassion for people who are in a situation. But pity for the sake of using it to promote themselves, I have zero. Less than zero if that's humanly possible. And that's what was so nice about last night. It was anything but. He came through once again. Linus he does videos, and I mean now he's sponsored by, like, his videos sponsored by Visa and Intel and all these names. But he also does a live show once a week. It's called The WAN Show. And I have taken so much from him in the way of how to be on YouTube. It is unbelievable, because we never planned to do a live stream. That was never in the cards. We were an upload channel, cinematics to promote our business. That's it. That's all. We were only supposed to be on one time to say thank you to everybody, because back then you needed 1,000 subscribers to live stream. And we went on with the understanding that was to say thank you, have a bit of fun, and then go on. We weren't even in our videos. And to tell you the truth, I didn't even get the sense of live streams. They didn't quite really click with me why or the purpose of them. But once we started live streaming, we didn't have a time to think about it. We kind of just jumped into it. Things were taking off and etc. Then we went home because we inherited a house and we had to go home and work on it. And it was days and days of just cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And one night, Xenia and I sat down. I had a beer. I think you had a glass of wine or a cooler or something. And we're sitting out, and there's all the spruce trees around the back and that one pine tree in the middle. Dark night. We have no internet or TV there. Just a couple of shows on our computer. So we're just out there having a drink, enjoying the cool air after 16 hours. And I posed a question to Xenia, who influenced us? Did we have influence? Do we, where is all this coming from? And there was two channels that really came to mind right away. Tony and Chelsea, if you're not familiar with them, a great husband and wife couple. I think they're around 1.3 mil now or somewhere like that. Fantastic. They do lives as well. We got that husband and wife back and forth a bit. We kind of bring some of, we like to talk almost as if we were sitting in the kitchen talking with you guys a bit. The bit of the banter. It's not all scripted and cold. And did you enjoy that, my wife, Xenia? I think we've got a lot from them in that. But from Linus, and not that they don't have it either, Linus really gave us the chance, especially when we got going, and we still have it today, is laughing at our screw-ups. And that is such an important message that gets lost so often here. We all talk about how to do everything perfect, how to make the perfect shot, how to make the perfect B-roll, how to make the perfect audio, so on and so forth, that we forget to talk about what to do when things don't go perfectly. And something Linus taught me early on, without thinking about it, is how to own it. How to sit there and laugh at it. How to sit there and make a joke about it. Not sit there and say, oh, well, the audio wasn't on for the first 2 minutes. I think I'm going to end this live stream and go and cry in my pillow because, we'll try it another day. Or, oh, there's not enough people in the chat, so I'm going to end. He taught me so much about how to laugh, how to run with it, how to make the best out of every situation. Something bad happens, don't try to hide it, own it. Own it with pride. Own it with laughter. Don't brush it off, and don't make it the focal point of the next 5 years of your life. And that has been such a great message to me. And I think, I usually don't talk about this too often, but both being Canadian, I think he kind of embodies a lot of that Canadian quality of it. Of just being that kind of a little bit whimsical, a little bit taking ourselves less seriously. And he does that a lot with being so respected at the same time. And I think that's what adds to his respectability is because of that. His integrity, I think, comes because of that, because it's an honest approach to it. And we need people like that. I played music for a long time. I don't play as much anymore, but I mean, whatever you do, music, art, acting, all those things, you have people you look up to, people that inspired you, people that help you create to be the person you are. You can't copy them. I would never try to copy him in a million years. I couldn't be him if I tried, because I'm not Linus. I don't have his scenario. I'm not. I don't. I do have 3 kids actually. Then we have the same amount of children, but different ages completely. His wife is of Asian origin. Xenia is Eastern European. They live outside of Vancouver. We live outside Montreal. Those are all the uniqueness that he brings to what he does. It's the uniqueness I like to think for us, our story bringing it. And that's what you have to do as well, is bring your uniqueness too. And you have just a unique story as anybody, including Linus. I remember when you first started, you've grown so much, and I'm so impressed with all you learned. I've learned a lot from you as well.
Thank you.
Nighto, that is so
Appreciate that.
awesome. Thank you so very much for that. Hi to everybody coming in the chat. Really do appreciate it. You guys are absolutely awesome. Corey's in the house. Expedition Greg. Forever Freaky. Funko's in the house. It's like being a teacher. You don't get into it for the money. You get into it because you want to create. If you are passionate about creating, the money will come later. Most definitely. And I always want to say this, it's okay to have a business head. It's okay to want to make it your passion. You just got to enjoy what you're doing. If you're doing it solely for the money, people are going to see through it. There's never been, I always bring up the example of Kiss with the makeup. I remember growing up, and I was right around the time, because I was born in 74, so I was still pretty young. But the magazines that I got from my uncles and my cousins and stuff like that, and looking through, and Ace Frehley with the guitar in front of his face getting off the plane, I'm doing this for your own protection. You couldn't do that today. Hey, guess what? We're a mass band. Guess what? 17 minutes later, they've dug up all of your Facebook, Instagram, and they just know your face. They know where you live, and they know all your family's pictures as well. It's too transparent today to pull that off for that long. You can only wear a mask for so long, and then it just doesn't fly anymore. So, you got to be out there. Like Linus is famous at being at trade shows and dropping like prototypes and things like that accidentally he's fumbling like all hands and falling on the ground. Like they have clips where they have employees that put them together of him just dropping stuff, and he's known with it. And we got our yellow coin, folks. There you go. It went a little bit longer than I thought. The numbers it just wasn't picking up traction tonight. I was wondering when this would come up. So there you go.
Well, we did 2 in a row without.
Yep. So there you go. So we got 2 in. And now we're back to yellow coins again, so.
That's okay, guys. You can share it out, and that's your power of viewership, is sharing it out and letting people know that we're live, and also after the live stream. That's okay. Rodney Reviews things. Hello, how are you? We have some comments here in the chat as well.
Sure.
Guys, if you are having your ideas and thoughts about what we're talking about, let us know in the chat. Now, there was a great question from Watch Me Do staff. Is it a burnout, or is it because they were being bullied by trolls all the time?
Well, it can all end in burnout in the end, whether it's from all the different elements, or it can come from trolls as well. I think it all ends up in some kind of burnout when it's said and done. All those factors are playing into it. That would be my answer. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's intertwined. I mean, part of it is dealing with everything that YouTube is. YouTube is not just posting a content and walking away. Especially when you have so much interaction with people, like during the live streams for us, and Linus Tech has his live streams on Fridays as well. There's a lot of that for sure, and the bigger you grow, for him especially, and for anybody really in that 1 percentile, you definitely have your haters and trolls and everything. That's part of it for sure. I from what he was talking about in the video, I don't think that's the main focus for him, but it definitely plays part into the burnout. In fact, he never called it a burnout. He's just talking about retiring. Yet it does feel that at some point, creators burnout is different from the job burnout in a way. In one way, it's similar because you are sharing the passion, you're doing what you love, and you're just doing too much maybe. But at the same time, it is different because you're kind of not doing your real life as much. You're starting to reevaluate your values and what you want to do. Because YouTube is a completely different platform from what we're usually used to in our lives, Colorado Fisher was saying, it can consume you so much. I used to enjoy fishing for fun. Now it's about running the camera. I get frustrated when I don't capture the catch instead of just enjoying it what I loved. And yes, that's a lot of it as well. As a photographer, for example, I used to try to catch everything that was pretty and beautiful, and I need to take a picture of this and that, and then I learned to put the camera away because otherwise I didn't actually enjoy it. All my experiences start to become through my lens. The same happens when you are doing videos. Oftentimes everything has to be captured, and what is your real life experiences then? Pixel P Teaching and Learning was saying that she has just started, but she can easily see how YouTube can absorb you and you lose yourself in the process. Definitely. And Forever Freaky Funko is putting in a really great inputs in the chat as well. Unless you're a creator, no one really knows how hard YouTube is and how much time you have to invest in if you want your channel to grow. It took him 11 years to get to 10 million. So many people want to start YouTube thinking it's a get-rich quick scheme, and that is far from the truth. Yep. Couldn't be more true. Just recently there was some articles saying that, everybody just want to be YouTubers. That's just for lazy people. But in fact, it's quite similar like having your own business. You work twice as much than you would for anybody else. The hours that you put in doesn't really compute into the dollars per hour paid, no matter how much you are earning, because you are spending so much time putting behind the works. The live stream, for example, is just the result of everything else that we're doing, or the video that you're putting in is just the result of everything else you're building on your channel and doing the work behind it. And there's a ton of it. If you want to grow, if you want to be successful, there is a lot of work. You have to grind. You have to, wake up even when you don't want to. Like any other thing you do in life, you still have to do it.
It's a lot of dedication, and it's very hard to do. This happens though with owning your own business in the real world as well. But YouTube is even sometimes a little more trickier. It's easier to blur that line where there's just no more division anymore. And you think you got a balance when you don't even realize it's so intertwined that actually nothing is getting proper coverage. Your YouTube channel, or especially your real world as well. It's very easy to slip into, and it's very hard to see. And a lot of times it starts with other people in your real life mostly will start to notice it and let you know. And like everything else in life, it can then usually falls with some denial and then eventually, hopefully, acceptance and then dealing with it. I have one advantage. I'm a non-working teacher taking care of my handicapped sister-in-law full-time. So making educational videos helps me do what I no longer can. And that is awesome that you got that opportunity to do so like that. That is really nice, Pixel Pia. And it's making a great thing out of a hard situation for you. And I hope it is helping. That is really awesome. Welcome, Paul Murray, as well. How are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. And Eileen via the fam, it's great to have you in too. Hope you're doing great. Hang in there. That is good to hear. YouTube is hard work. Some I do it for fun. Sometimes. Deadly Monster Gamer, welcome once again. It's great to have you in here. We are limited monetization, guys, and it's not surprising because as soon as we started talking Burnout and stuff, we kind of figured that would trigger it, and sure enough, it did. So the algorithm doesn't care if it's there to help or there to hinder. Just here's the word and puts in, which means less push for it. So if you guys can let everybody know what's going on, if you can hit that like button, if you can share it out, tweet it out, that stuff, it really does make a really big difference. But it's a topic I just wanted to talk about because Linus Tech has been such an inspiration to me. I've referenced him tons of times if you guys have been following us for a while, because I think he is the epitome of somebody who pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps here, who does not get anywhere near the recognition a YouTuber should get on YouTube. Hands down, like many other big ones. Very rarely do you ever see them focused anywhere, even trending. A lot of them, like he rarely trends for the size. It's quite sad in my opinion, but anyways, nonetheless, he hit 10 million subscribers and did a very open, honest talk about how he's feeling at it, and with 3 young kids and what it's taken to take a YouTube channel out of his father-in-law's house and turn it into having a building of this size, occupied with studios and all that, and 30 some employees and everything that goes with it. I mean, not many have done that. There's lots of people that have made themselves on YouTube, but not many have turned themselves into basically an incorporated group as such.
Well, definitely, and he's all self-built from the ground up, so to say. And this is what we're talking in the chat as well, that not many people are, wanting to put that extra effort, extra hours, extra time into the work of YouTube or any other business at the very beginning. Yes, it pays off in the long term, but you have to get through those initial years of really really giving up on everything else, to be honest, Yeah, my goodness. Queen Helen Casey.
They've been going around
There's more than that.
Yeah.
And yes, we only have one Push Studios account, one Push Studios channel. So if you see any other ones that is not us, please report them, delete them, ban them, whatever you do. That's not us.
And let me guess, we were either saying something very goofy, something about poop, or something very derogatory through those other
Yeah, that's the
channels.
same people that are trying to troll our channel here time to time. In my experience, it's unpredictable, so just enjoying and loving my work. Don't even know if I could reach 1K, but best thing is getting an extra exposure of my work. Of course, and we never know because not everything is in our power here on YouTube. A lot of YouTube is controlled by YouTube, so it's not like we know everything, It's not like we can predict everything 100%. That's just not how it works. That's the platform, and that's the unpredictability, I think, is what burns out a lot of YouTubers as well, because it's not necessarily that the thing that you think is going to take off is taking off. And sometimes YouTube can just ground you. For example, partially monetizing you or demonetizing your channel or deleting it altogether. Just one morning you wake up and it's not there. So, that unpredictability is definitely what is always there in the back of your mind as a creator because you don't know. It is a long-term run, but at the same time, you kind of live from day to day.
Danny Mill Reacts, how are you? Great to see you. So great to have you in here. Hope you're doing great. My non-traditional life says, I don't understand why people put that much effort into trolling. Hard enough to understand trolling at all. Well, it's hard enough to be a YouTuber, and if you're doing YouTube at all, you don't have time to be a troll. It's usually just people come in here with grandiose wishes, goals that are unrealistic. They don't get to them, so then they just become bitter. Instead of taking a break from it and regrouping and trying something that's productive, it's just kind of like, well, I don't care anymore, so everybody's going to pay. Where it'd be so much better in time invested in themselves, they could probably come up with something really innovative with that kind of energy. And there you go, folks. I don't know if these are any of them Helen Casey. There is Pusa Studios. Pusa Studio Vlogs is not us. Hate Pusa Studios. I don't like Pusa Studios. Just a couple to mention, but you will find more of them. So
Yeah.
there's Poop Studios and everything else. So.
Lots
So
of that.
stupid, yeah.
Amanda's Motivations and More. Hello and welcome back here. And Blair Tacky. Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we know more than a couple.
Yeah.
But that's part of being on
There's
YouTube,
a whole
I guess.
array of.
Can't be liked by everyone, and we don't want to be liked by everyone.
You shouldn't be liked by everybody. If you can't be liked by everybody. Think of every TV show you ever watch. What show, even the greatest shows of all time, were liked by everybody? Never happens.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Much love to you, my northern neighbors. Oh, thank you so much, and right back at you. Once again, it's fantastic to see you. You hate the vision. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Drone Kings. We're the imposter Pusa.
That's right. Well, as long as you guys are in the chat, and that's what matters for us. You're here, you're watching us, even when we are on twice on our channel, and really 3 times today. Has been 3 live streams. We were on interview earlier today as well. So that's a pretty long day, but we enjoyed it nevertheless. But to talk about the personal experiences, and I mentioned that before Christmas. It is hard. It is hard to be a YouTuber. It is hard. It is a lot of times. Sometimes I question if this is how much we should be putting into YouTube. Danny, hello. How are you? Big Island Bear Adventures, because it takes a lot of time. There are 2 of us. Thanks God there are 2 of us working on it. And thanks God we are husband and wife working on it together, so we understand what it takes. We understand the work and time behind it, because I don't know how people with a partner that is not into YouTube actually explain that how much time you're putting into it, because you don't get it unless you're a creator. because there's lots of things that we miss. There's lots of things. There's times when I want to be with my kids instead. Not that I don't enjoy doing live streams. Not that I don't enjoy what we're doing. I am. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it if we wouldn't be enjoying it. But sometimes it is a question of, is it worth against what we're losing? Is it worth as our kids are growing up? And it's nothing different from any other questions people ask themselves when they work too much in general, even just besides YouTube. And lots of times it has been, feeling of a burnout and maybe we should stop it. And you know what we do then? And it's a suggestion for you guys, is take a break. We have gone on vacations. We have gone on a couple of days off. We have taken time off at Christmas, in summer for weeks. You shouldn't be scared of taking your time off. And that's what we have done since the very beginning. And I'm thankful we are, because otherwise I don't think we still would be here.
Guys, if your channel is worth its weight in salt, it's going to be there. Yes, you can't take like 2-3 months off. You can do it, but you're going to have a hard time getting it back. You got to put some. Everybody needs to take a break and step away and get perspective. You know what it's always done to us? We've come back better, and then you look back at the last couple shows before you took a break or the last month before and thought, wow, not really giving people what they deserve. I'm not giving it my all in here. I look tired. I look lost. I'm forgetting stuff, stumbling on things. You got to be honest with yourself. And I've looked at some stuff and thought, this is what we did. That's absolute garbage. We shouldn't even been on. We were just too tired, too exhausted to do it, and it's not fair to the people that come and watch you. And you can lose people from that more than being lost for a couple of days. If your channel's going to fall to pieces, you're going to lose everybody because you're off for a couple of days. It was going to happen anyways, and then it was time to reevaluate. And at least then you can come back and start over with a fresh head. I also want to thank Paul Murray for the kind words as well. Support channels you respect and love Pusa Studios. Thank you so much. Paul Murray, you are not just to us, but to so many people. You are so kind. So and so supportive. Thank you very, very much for that. Really do appreciate it. Hi there, Sherry Awesome Sunset Travels. How are you? Great to see you. Homesteading with the Herbert says, that's why I started YouTube, to do more with my kids. That is awesome. Live the life LTL, right? We need to enjoy and love what we're doing. You do, guys, and that gets lost a lot. That's why I try to say this a lot about the example with the train. You can't just enjoy being on here just for the sake of YouTube and, I'm going to make some big money. You got to enjoy the process of YouTube. You have to enjoy cracking the algorithm. You have to enjoy learning like the tags, the art, and that. It's all part of the big picture of being on here. Otherwise, it's absolutely miserable. You really got to enjoy that side as well, because it's such a big part of being on YouTube, excuse me. Big Island Bear Adventures, by the way, thank you so much for the chocolate macadamia and the food. Well, you just filled us up, as always. Thank you so very much. We had an unboxing last night from him, and he never lets us down. Send it all the way from Hawaii. He's absolutely crazy. The Thrifting Goomba, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic, as well as Jenny O'Brien is here. It's great to see you. Danny Milk React says, understanding your audience is so very important, and then making sure you offer quality content goes a long way. So well said. Exactly. People don't want to hear it, but you got to realize we're an entertainment product, and we offer a product and service here. All of us do. No matter what kind of channel you have entertainment by a product that is full of entertainment value, and you have to make sure that is there for your audience to be able to justify them coming back. And if you don't do it, they are going to slip away. So it sounds cold. It takes all like the warm side out of it maybe a bit, but it shouldn't. It means that you understand what you're doing here and what your commitments are as a creator to put into what comes out. How important it is to make people enjoy that's why it's important not to sit there every day and get gloomy over the ones that are hating on you, but to spend more time celebrating the ones that do love you. And if you're just getting into this, honestly, the most liberating day of YouTube you'll ever have is the day you accept that you're not for everybody. I can't stress that enough. It is disheartening. We were talking tonight. The first time you get a dislike or you get a hateful comment, it hurts. It hurts. Everybody can talk tough, but it sits with them. Nobody can separate themselves. How can somebody not like me? Come on, I'm just on here. What am I doing wrong? But then you learn to leave it for, you know what? But I got 10 likes. That's 10 people that thought, wow, keep up the great work. Wow, I like what you're doing. Wow, I would like to see some more. Focus on keeping them happy. Don't focus on the one that's dragging you down. 20 months as a YouTube creator, and I just received my first AdSense payment. That is an added bonus. Congratulations. Well done, Danny McGrath.
That is
Great
awesome.
to hear. That's something to celebrate. Yes. I love that. Good for you. Well done. Sure, awesome. Sunset Travel, it's been a lot more involved than I thought at first. Definitely. I think most people are going to say that's doing anything on here. You don't realize that. You just see the very, very tip of the iceberg. Oh, I can go, like vlogging. I get that where people are saying that. Like I get to see moments and I want to even shoot them, for little clips for our shows and stuff like that. It's like, but I'm enjoying the moment right now. Like it's hard to sit there and grab the camera, or I couldn't picture myself reenacting my walking into a room 5 times.
We are so bad at vlogging.
Oh, yeah.
We have tried a couple of times and failed miserably.
Disastrous. Yeah, disastrous.
Yeah. We're not meant for that.
Oh my God. But guys, just once again about the photos tonight is on Linus and his video. We're going to put that link to that video. And I hope you will all watch it. I really hope you will watch it because it is such a strong message. It is so raw and so true. And even if you're not a tech person, and he's not all about like CPUs, etc. and that. He does do a lot on phones and everything else. But I think you'll appreciate the honesty in there. And if you ever watch one of his live streams, it might all sound Greek to you with what they're talking about, text on that. But I think you'll see quickly how Xenia and I, because actually their intro, they've been doing that for years now. They basically wait for the screw up at the beginning, almost like it has to happen to make it a show. And they embrace it, and they laugh at it, and run with it, and play off of it. He has taught me so much about how to do a live and not stress over those little things, because I am one that wants everything just so, and I can't thank him enough. I wish he was. It's hard because if somebody was to ask me who would you love to interview or sit down and talk with, Linus is in the top 3 on YouTube. Just even if it was to thank him for what he's done for me. He's given me so many points and so many guidelines on how to do things on here and how to present yourself and how to kind of wear your heart on your sleeve without being a bully or without being an emotional wreck. To just be open and honest and say it and go on. And you guys have seen that with us. Look at when we got a yellow coin, we show it to you guys. When something happens, here it is. Oh, look, we're getting trolled again. There's what's going on. Here's the number. A lot don't do that. A lot don't show that. But to me and Xenia, that's important. Because you guys trust us enough to come in here. You come in all the time and ask us, oh, I've heard this. Is this true? Is this the way that's going to be? That's why we've changed the format of our show a lot more, is actually embracing you guys doing that. Our show is turning more and more, as you can see, into features on everything going on YouTube. And we like doing it. And it is a lot more work. It might seem... the other day, like when we were getting yellow coin again, Xenia went through a 36-page PDF to research enough to be able to get the story for tips and updates for creators as Shocking Study dismantles. This one here, there's a lot of work goes into doing those ones. It's not an easy way out. It's actually a lot more work. But it's because I hope we've earned your trust enough over time, and it feels like we have, that you guys come to us when you hear stuff in other places and actually ask us for verification onto it. And that's quite humbling. That's an unbelievable feeling you guys have given us by doing that. So we do put a lot of work into it. Camp House BBQ as well. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please do. We got limited monetization again tonight. I figured that as soon as we were starting to talk about burnout and stuff like that. The algorithm is watching heavily for those words. So it doesn't care about the context, whether if we're trying to help somebody out or not. It just hears them and basically puts you in the naughty house, I guess we call it. So.
Yeah. That's right, guys. So I just wanted to talk with you. This is probably not the last time we talk about creator burnout in general. Yeah. It is something that is truly something that should be talked about more, because I think a lot of people are going through and think that they are the only ones going through that. Although, in fact, I think all of the YouTubers at some point are going through that, and the ups and downs. And it's good to rely on each other, because nobody is going to understand you better as YouTubers themselves. Thank you so much, Paul Murray.
That is nice.
Aw, thank you. In
You're such a good
life, you walk
person.
past negativity, embrace love. Thank you.
Words to live by, guys. Words to live by. So, thank you so much, Paul. If I can ask you guys to do us a favor, because it is limited monetization, something will really help, because they'll green light it after. If you guys could come back after this is done and leave an on-topic comment about tonight, your story about it, your feelings onto it, it would really help us out a lot. It does make a world of difference. It keeps it moving. So then when the green's off, actually more people will get to see it. We can't thank you enough for that. It makes all the difference in the world. It only takes a minute or two, but it does a world of good. And also, if you haven't hit that like button, please do. It does help out so much. I know it's a lot to ask you guys, but you guys have been really helping us get through this yellow coin syndrome we've been into lately. And we want to thank you personally. You guys have been absolutely awesome. The support you guys show us is nothing short of amazing. I hope people here understand and appreciate what you guys do offer here. Your information means more than anything monetary. Well, my God, Dan, so great to have you in here tonight. It's so awesome to see you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. And the biggest
Big
thanks
bear.
you guys can do is to share it with your friends and tell about us from mouse to mouse? Mouse to ear? Which one is it? Are we going to
I
do
don't
the
know.
CPR?
Now we're really not going to get monetized.
Do the
We're not getting
CPR
green
on
coin.
us. What is the expression? From mouse to mouse works the best. Anyway, you know what I mean. So if you can do that for us, we would appreciate that.
Big Island, thank you so very much, buddy. And thank you again for the mail. We enjoyed the chocolate and everything so much. You are so awesome. All of you guys, thank you so much. North of 54, quietly listening tonight. I appreciate the conversations I can listen to and read here in the chat. Thank you so very much. Sure, we'll get back to you and comment. Pixelpia, you are so beyond amazing, and word of mouth.
Word of mouth, thank you.
I just think
so
Xenia was
much.
going into such a hole, and I was kind of like, oh God, is this going to keep us from getting green after? Is it going to get us green after? So thank you so much. Oh my God.
Oh,
Panda
the Panda photographer. Thank you so much. Mwah. Thank
You are so awesome. Thank you so much. You spoil us. You truly
super talented photographer.
guys really like top-notch photography. If you don't know the Panda photographer, make sure to check him out. And sorry for a while ago, guys, Paul Murray too. He has shipped videos every day, and he has done some amazing things, including a video. It's not up yet. He did a private screening with his friend Anne. Her father, who passed away last year, his experience in World War II, and they did a full featured video that I've seen a clip of that's absolutely stellar.
Wow.
Got him
I'm
to talk.
looking
He never
forward.
talked about it his whole life. He was so traumatized by it that she couldn't have friends stay over except in the summer where they could stay outside because he used to have night terrors and stuff like that.
My grandfather, who was in World War II, never talked about it.
No,
Never talked about it.
But they captured it all and they put it to video clips and stuff like that. Did a superior job. So.
Wow, that's amazing. Looking forward to that, Paul Murray. Check him out. That's coming up. And Panda Photographer, definitely follow his Instagram.
Definitely, guys. Thank you so much for being with us. And if you guys can hit that like button and come back, ship videos or ship Danny Black ship videos. And Paul Murray, actually Danny Black is an expat from the States living in Australia, married to a very beautiful Australian lady who also works on ships. And there you go. So there's a ship connection for you.
She can watch Pusa Studios on the laptop while doing her
I
hula
still
hoop.
see her going around like that clip. It was mesmerizing. It was.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
I couldn't
for
even
you.
do it in the chair without you. I don't even have the hula hoop or the laptop when I couldn't do it. So there you go. All right, folks. Thank you so much. If you guys can hit that like button and come back and comment after, it would mean the world to us. You guys are absolutely awesome. You mean the world to us. Thank you for sitting in on this quick notice one and just hearing our thoughts and that. And Xenia will give you the link after, guys, to go and check out that video. Please watch it. It's about a half hour, but you're not. It is it's touching, guys, and it really puts the whole YouTube feeling into perspective. So much love to you all. Take care of yourselves. Be well to each other, and don't let yourself burn out, folks. Give yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye now.